Alright, I've got the saw warming up and I got this big old piece of white ash put up here on the bunk. So join me as I cut this guy up and see what's inside. First off, down here's the large end, and this is about 18 inches, more or less, in diameter. It's 9 feet long, but you can see it was just starting to fork out here. So I did raise up that end to try and get the center of it fairly level. And up at this end, it's actually 28 inches tall. And I'd like to actually point out that my saw is just about as high up as it goes. So this thing is just about maxing out the height of my saw. You can see I could get something in there a little bit taller, but I won't be able to cut any higher than that. Alright, so I'll get you guys on the tripod and make a few cuts. Nice looking stuff. I'm going to take a couple of 1-inch rips off until I start getting a pretty decent width for a cant down on this end. And I'll rip those down into whatever I can get. Maybe I'll cut them in half and get some big piece of 1x8 out up on this end and some 1x4s down on this half. Or who knows? We'll see. Anyways, I'm going to take a whole bunch of 1-inch rips off until I get a good size width down on this end. Nine. Alright, so this one you've seen. Wait for resawing later. Let's take a look. Very nice. Nice, some good looking stuff. Alright, let me get this piece off and see what's underneath. Very nice. Got some interesting color in the ends where it's obviously soaked up some water or something over the winter. But let's see how big we are here. Ooh, about 12 inches here. 10 in the middle. About 10. So, should hopefully get at least a 10 by 10 cant out of that. Alright, time to roll this guy. see how fun this is. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. All right, again, we're just about 18 inches here, about 17. So I'll probably come in and a cut about 16 and start seeing what we're starting to get for a width up here and make a judgment after that. See, besides the very end, we're already getting quite wide on this piece. I do have some wane to cut off on this side, so I'm going to lose, lose a little bit of the end of that. I'll easily get 1x6 out of that. Probably a 1x8 out of the next one, and then I should pretty much be almost through the wane by the time I get down another 2 inches. This is the tiniest bit of wane left on this, but I might leave it. Let's go take a look. Okay, see, I just got this tiny little bit left. So what I might do is wait until I cut the other side and make a determination then as to the final cut to make. There we go. Come on. There we go. All right, now that I have a nice square corner here, these things can come right out. Don't need them anymore. Now the log will push back up against these little orange stops right here. Yep, I'm gonna need a bar to do that, but. All right, at this end of the log now, just about 14 inches tall, and that's a pretty abrupt crown on it at this end. If I start measuring down here, I think I'm going to slice it about just about 12.5 inches. So I should be just below on this, just below the bark on this side. I don't know if you saw that, but I decided to raise the saw 1 inch right before I cut, and I'm glad I did. That's actually going to be a pretty useful board right there. All right, now I'm going to put it down at 12.5. Okay, I've measured both sides, and the bark is kind of in and out at about 11 inches. So I'm going to cut it at 11, which should get rid of most of the rounded top, and then cut it again at 10 to get a final 10-inch cant. right, that was definitely a worthwhile cut. This board is 12.5 inches this way right now. So I will be able to get a 1x10 out of that after I cut the wane off. Wonderful. Alright, we'll take off another inch. You know what? I'm rethinking this again. I haven't made any 1x12 yet, so I'm just going to continue cutting 1x12s. Perfect. They're a little bit wide. They're about 12 1/4, but I'm not going to complain. All right, that was the first 4 slices of 1x12. I'm going to get those stacked on some stickers and let's take a look at them. Okay, here we go. 4 1x12s. They're 9 feet long, so they'll be 8-footers after I cut all this nonsense off this end. And if we take a look, we're down to the heartwood over here. It's got some pretty interesting coloring. Really, really red and fun looking. A cool project somewhere in there. All right, I'm gonna finish cutting these off to 1 inch. There we go. That's 6 more 1x12s. Let me get those spread out so we can take a look at them. Okay, here's the first 4. Again, some really interesting color on this grain. It's too bad there's this big crack on a few of them, right around that big huge knot that was in the middle of the crook there. But still, some interesting looking wood right there. All right, let me get the last 2 unloaded. Oh my, what a shame. I don't know how to count. I have 3 left, not 2 left. Okay, there we go. The last 3 are on there. Again, pretty interesting grain. I'm sorry about the dappled light. I know it makes it hard to see. You know, these ones do have that same knot, but as long as it holds together, that'll be good. Very interesting stuff. And don't forget also, I have these 4 pieces that still have some wane on one or both edges. And I'll cut these down, and I'm going to get some more 1x4s and 1x6s probably out of that for the most part. I'm not going to film it all, but I'll show you guys at the end. All right, I have now cut up the last of the scrap from this log, and right here we have 3 more 1x6s. Some wane on this one. And 2 more 1x8s. So that's not a bad tally for this one log. I do have this pile of stuff from my last log I got to clean up now. But good haul for the day.